What's going on, guys? Hit Squad here again, back at it with another video. I know it's been a little bit, but we got Cincinnati this week, so let's get into it. Now, going into this season, I was really excited to play Cincinnati. I like Joe Burrow coming out of college, but as you guys know, Joe Burrow unfortunately is out for the season with a knee injury. Prayers up to him. I hope that he's doing really good. I hope that he comes back from this injury because let me tell you something. It was scary, man. Cincinnati definitely set Joe Burrow up for failure. I know we complain as Giants fans that we have a horrible offensive line and that our offensive line just hasn't looked good in years. Their offensive line is terrible, man. Their offensive line is terrible. They did nothing to address that offensive line position, knowing that they were going to draft what they believed to be their franchise guy, and you don't even put help on him. I mean, you get him a receiver, but you don't put any help on that offensive line, and look what it does. And that's what unfortunately, I always get scared with Daniel Jones behind a bad offensive line. But you know, on a positive note, we've seen this offensive line improve. But again, I do want to say, prayers up to Joe Burrow. I hope that, he comes back with a speedy recovery. Now, going into this game, right, a lot is on the line. Dallas winning against Minnesota, which was an upset against Minnesota. Washington winning as well against the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Philadelphia Eagles losing, to the Cleveland Browns. Now, obviously with Thursday's game, I've been asked, oh, who are you rooting for? You always want to root against Washington. Excuse me, against Dallas. It doesn't matter what it is. You always root against Dallas, in my opinion. So I will be rooting for Washington because if Washington does win, yes, that'll put them at 4 games. But we do own the tiebreaker with Washington. So if we win against Cincinnati, that puts us ahead of Washington in first place. But I would prefer Washington to win that game. I don't really believe in Dallas. I think that they have this false hope with Andy Dalton. We know who Andy Dalton is as a QB. He may have 1 or 2 games here where he looks pretty good, but then he really shows his true colors, and it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. Now I know that they have more talent over there, but I just don't see that working out. I think that the way that this team has been prepared and operated by Joe Judge, that we're headed in the right direction, and that you're going to be seeing us compete in a lot of these games that we have no business winning. And I'm really excited for the rest of the season. I'm excited with how this team is. Being that said, I really do think that Joe Judge will have this team ready coming out of the bye, and I think that the Giants will win this game. Outside of Joe Burrow being out of the game, they also have Joe Mixon out of the game. Now, when Joe Burrow was in the lineup, he did have A.J. Green, he had T. Higgins, he had Tyler Boyd, he had Joe Mixon, and they still weren't a good team. But now they're not going to have Joe Burrow, and they're not going to have Joe Mixon. So you're not having your number one QB, you're not having your number one running back. So this should be a game if you could take anything from the New York Giants in the last 3 years, right? Uh, the Giants do very good against teams that have their backup QB playing. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. But I would expect Joe Judge to have this team ready, just like he has been having this team ready week in and week out. I think coming off the bye, we're getting some players back. That's something to look forward to. We're not going to have Xavier McKinney for this game, but Joe Judge did say that it is possible that they can play this game. Speaking and they as Oshane Ximines and Xavier McKinney. I've been very excited to see Xavier McKinney on the field. I've been on record of saying that I think that him and Jabril Peppers could be one of the best duos in the league. And I'm really excited to see him take the field. Logan Ryan's been doing really good, and I think that we should bring Logan Ryan back. But I really just don't think that Cincinnati poses a threat to this defense, let alone any answers to this defense. When I look at the Cincinnati Bengals, right now, this team is going to fall apart because without Joe Burrow, they don't really stand a chance. I don't think that they really have a chance to win another game looking at the rest of their schedule. With Joe Burrow, I think it'd be a little bit different, but just looking at it, I think their backup QB is Ryan Finley, I think. But I still don't trust the Cincinnati Bengals to win another game. I think that with the way that this team has been playing, the defense has been looking really good. We've been able to develop pressure, right? And going into this year, we didn't think that this defense would really do much. We thought the offense would do a lot more. But it's kind of flipped the script. Defense has been really keeping us in games, and the offense as well as the offensive line, has been coming along fairly well. Now, I do think that this will be a game where you'll see more turnovers. I think that we'll get a couple turnovers in this game. I think that we'll definitely be able to put pressure on Ryan Finley, considering that, again, this is not a good offensive line at all. I mean, Bobby Hart is starting on this team, and we should already know how Bobby Hart is as a player. I remember when he was on the Giants, he said he thought he was the best right tackle in the league. Granted, he should think that, but we as fans, not even Giants fans, know that Bobby Hart was not even close to being the best right tackle in the league. So that should tell you enough. They don't have a good offensive line. Their defense is not good at all. They have not been able to put pressure on the quarterback. They haven't been able to do any takeaways. So I think that this could be a game where you see that this offense comes out on a hot note. I think that the Giants could actually stretch the field. I think we'll see a balanced run game. And I think that, with Daniel Jones, the last 2 games, he hasn't turned the ball over. I think that we're going to see that continuation. I think that Daniel Jones is getting a grip of this playbook. And I think that we're going to see the Daniel Jones that we thought we were going to see in the beginning of this year. But obviously, we haven't. I think that Daniel Jones has improved within the last couple weeks since Tampa, but you hope that that continues on. I think that this team will be ready for this game, and I keep stressing that because, in the last couple of years under Pat Shermer and Ben McAdoo, this team wouldn't come ready to games. They wouldn't, change up game plans. They wouldn't change up things in their scheme per game like Joe Judge has been doing. It's just been, we're going to play what we're going to play, and we're going to hope for the best. And then the team gets blown out. You see with Joe Judge, every week it's a different strategy. They're implementing different things every week, and the team looks better. The team looks like they're more connected. They look like they're on the same page, and that's exciting to see considering that we pretty much have the same roster from last year. I know we have some key additions to the roster, but Joe Judge and his staff has been able to find ways to get the most out of our players that, unfortunately, other coaching staffs haven't been able to do. And we do have a young roster as well. Now, I want to see Darius Slayton get more involved in this game. He's been kind of in and out of games in the last couple weeks. I thought that Darius Slayton could be our number one, but obviously he's been slipping to a number two in my mind. But I don't see any reason why the Giants shouldn't win this game when you really look at it. I just don't see it. So if I could put a score on it, I'm going to put 24-10. I think that the Cincinnati Bengals do get a touchdown on us, but, I really see it 24-10. The Giants win this game. We'll be 4-7 going into next week. I think there's a lot of things that Giants fans should be excited about, but let's not forget things, Giants fans. We should take this week by week. That's how this division is going to come down. Philly's kind of spiraling down. Washington looks like they may be coming up. Not too sure yet with their quarterback position. Dallas, I just don't believe in. But I do think that we are on the right side, and I think that, this team will be improving. I think that Joe Judge will have this team ready. So 24-10, Giants win this game. We improve to 4-7. And I think that's really it. Let me know what you guys think below. What are your takes coming out of the bye? Like I said, I'm really excited to see if Xavier McKinney and Oshane can step on the field. I think we'll see a lot of Oshane. I think Xavier McKinney may have limited time in the lineup. I think you may see some reduced snaps from Julian Love if Xavier McKinney is in the lineup, unless they try to put him at that cornerback 2 position. I'm not sure yet, but I think it's very interesting when you really look at it. When you look at the rest of the Giants year, how things can play out, this could be a very interesting team to watch. This could be a team that makes it to the playoffs. This could be a team that does something. Now, I'm not banking on that. I'd love to see it, but I'm not banking on it. We got to take it week by week. But for this week, I have us winning against Cincinnati 24-10.